All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to tackle one of the toughest subjects there is. We're not talking about how to get rich. Honestly, that's a different conversation. Today, we're talking about something much, much harder: how to stop being poor. So, have you ever wondered that? Why, for so many people, does getting out of a low-income situation feel less like climbing a ladder and more like trying to claw your way out of a pit of quicksand? It's a simple question, but the answer is what this is all about. See, most of us think poverty is just about not having enough money, a number in a bank account that's too low. But here's the thing, that's totally wrong. Poverty isn't just a number, it's a force, a powerful gravitational pull that's designed to keep you right where you are, spinning your wheels until you've got nothing left. To really get this, we need to look at rocket science of all things. For a rocket to leave Earth, it has to hit a very specific speed called escape velocity. Now here's the mind-blowing part. If that rocket burns 99% of its fuel but doesn't hit that exact speed, what happens? It doesn't get 99% of the way to the moon. No, it falls right back to Earth and crashes. That is exactly what poverty does. Putting in 99% of the effort gets you 100% failure. So if you're going to break free, you have to understand the forces, the physics holding you down. We're going to reverse engineer this whole trap by looking at the 5 specific chains that create this gravitational pull. Let's start with the sneakiest traps of all, the ones inside your own mind. Because poverty isn't just something that happens to your wallet, it's something that happens to your brain. It literally changes the way you think. Get this. A major Harvard study found that just the constant stress of worrying about money, rent, bills, the car, it drops your effective IQ by a massive 13 points. 13! That is the same cognitive hit as pulling an all-nighter and losing a full 24 hours of sleep. They call this the scarcity tax. And that right there is the core of the problem. When your brain's processor is basically handicapped, you can't think about the future because you're in a desperate fight with the present. You're just reacting, putting out fires. This is why people take out those terrible high-interest payday loans. It's not because they're stupid, it's because their brain is exhausted and the system is designed to prey on that exhaustion. This scarcity mindset leads to a brutal, ironic truth. It is expensive as hell to be poor. It's called the Vimes Boots Theory. Here's how it goes. A rich man can afford a great pair of boots for $50 and they last him 10 years. A poor man can only afford the cheap $10 boots, which fall apart in a year. So, over those same 10 years, the poor man has spent $100, twice as much, and his feet were probably wet the whole time. So how do you even begin to fight back? You have to build a buffer. Your first mission isn't to get rich, it's to scrape together $500, maybe $1,000, and stick it in an account you absolutely do not touch. This money isn't for a shopping spree, it's for buying back your brain power. With that buffer, when the car breaks down, it's just an annoying inconvenience, not a complete catastrophe that sends your entire life into a tailspin. Okay, now for the second trap in your head, the dopamine trap. When life is grinding you down, your brain is just screaming for some relief. Buying that new phone, those cool sneakers, it gives you a quick little hit of dopamine. Feels good, right? But it's not really spending, it's self-medicating. And the problem is, the good feeling wears off fast, but the debt, that sticks around. The poor tend to see money as a tool for buying temporary pleasure. The rich see it as a tool for buying freedom, by buying assets. All right, so we've looked at the traps inside your head, but the fight isn't just internal, is it? There are some powerful forces out there in the world that are designed to keep you exactly where you are. First up is the linear income trap. Most of us are taught to trade our time for money. The problem is, you only have so much time. And while you're working, there's a silent killer called inflation. Just look at this. If inflation is chugging along at 8%, but your annual raise is only 3%, you are literally running up a down escalator. You're working harder and harder each year just to get poorer. So what's the move? You have to change the game entirely. Stop selling your time and start selling your value. And you do this by building what's called a skill stack. Don't try to be the absolute best at just one thing. The real secret is to get pretty good at 2 or 3 completely different skills and then combine them. Think about it. A carpenter who also learns to code websites becomes a rare, valuable specialist. You become a double threat, and the market pays a huge premium for rare combinations. And this leads us to maybe the toughest chain of all to break: social gravity. You've probably heard the saying, we are, for better or worse, total mimic machines. Our brains have these things called mirror neurons that just subconsciously copy the habits, the attitudes, and the bank balances of the people we're around most. If your 5 closest friends are broke and pessimistic, guess who's going to be the 6th? It's known as the crab bucket effect. You put a bunch of crabs in a bucket, and if one tries to climb out, the others will literally pull it back down. Now, here's the crazy part. They're not doing it to be malicious. They're doing it because when you start to succeed, it shines a giant spotlight on the fact that they're still stuck. It makes them uncomfortable. So when you start to level up, don't be surprised if some of your friends try to drag you back down. Now, let's get to the final chain, and this one is the big one because it reveals the engine that can either trap you for life or completely set you free. Understanding this is absolutely everything. This is the compound void. See, when you're trapped in poverty, you are stuck on the wrong side of the compound interest equation. You are paying it on credit cards, on car loans, on payday loans. Every single day, you wake up, you are a little bit poorer. The wealthy, they're on the other side. They are earning it on their stocks, their businesses, their assets. They literally wake up richer than when they went to sleep. So how do you flip the switch? How do you cross over from the paying side to the earning side? It's a 3-stage plan. Stage 1 is survival. You have to stop the bleeding. That means getting aggressive and wiping out all that high-interest debt. Stage 2 is accumulation. You start building your snowball. Start buying productive assets, even if it's just $10 a day into a simple index fund. And then Stage 3 is freedom. That's the moment your assets are making enough money to cover your basic living expenses. That, my friends, is escape philosophy. So let's tie this all together. We've walked through the scarcity tax, the dopamine trap, the down escalator, social gravity, and the compound void. These are the 5 massive chains that create the physics of poverty. But I want you to remember one thing. These chains might feel like they're made of steel, but they are forged in the mind. The system, maybe your friends, maybe even your own brain, they all might want you to stay put, to stay safe in the cage. But the door to that cage, it has always been open. The only real question left is, are you going to walk through it? We've given you the map. We've explained the physics. The only thing left is for you to find the courage to take that first step. And if you want to keep going on this journey with us, then join the Survivor Circle. Think of subscribing as your commitment to yourself, a commitment to stay rational and build a secure future, especially when everyone else out there is panicking. And always, always remember, survive today so you can thrive tomorrow.